graders. All right, today we are going to be learning about rational numbers. Rational numbers, yes. So last week it was all integers, and this week we're looking at rational numbers. So we are going to be comparing, ordering, using a number line, all the same thing that we did before, but now we're going to be doing it with rational numbers. So first of all, Ms. Englander, what are rational numbers? What are these things? Okay, well, if we think back to last week, we know that integers are all numbers that are either positive or negative and do not have any parts, right? No fractions. So they're either positive or negative numbers that are whole, right? So no parts. Well, rational numbers are numbers that have parts. So they might have like a whole number and then a decimal, or they might have like a number and a fraction, or they might just be a fraction or a decimal, so not even like all the way to 1 or all the way to -1. So when we're looking at these, rational numbers are both positive and negative, so they're still positive and negative, and they're written as fractions. You can see this idea of ratio in here. Rational has ratio in it, and we know that ratios are written as fractions. So that's how I like to remember this, this word. Okay, so rational numbers, Rational numbers are numbers that can be written as a fraction or decimal. And again, they are either positive or negative. Okay, so we can have both. Man, my handwriting got really bad right there. Sorry. Okay, I think it's probably because my pen was running out. I got new pens and I forgot to open them, so I need to do that. Okay, so these are numbers that are written with fractions or decimal. They can be positive or negative. I always like it. It looks like a little face right there. Can make like a smile. Okay, so numbers that are written as positive or negative either have a fraction or a decimal. All right, so today we're going to talk about the graphing piece. Like, how do we graph them? So let's look at this example. So my first example says 3/4. This is a rational number that we need to graph. So when we graph this, we actually have to think about, okay, how much of a whole is this? Well, it's 3/4 of 1. So that means that when I make my number line, yes, I will have a 0, and yes, I will have a 1, but I am also going to have all these other lines in between because it's not even one whole. It's 3/4. If it was 4/4, it would be a whole. So this one whole right here is the same as 4/4. So I'm going to put like a box around that. So we know that one whole equals 4/4. So if we have 3/4, that means that this line is broken up into 1, 2, 3, and there's 4/4. So 3/4 to graph this would be on the third line, not quite at one whole. So you can think of like one whole as like a little bit bigger. This right here, that is 3/4 right there. This would be 2/4 or half, and this would be 1/4. So again, we can do that on the opposite side because we want to graph its opposite. So the opposite of 3/4 is negative 3/4. So it's negative 3/4. And so when we write this, we're going to cut it in half. And then there we go. And now we need 3 jumps, not quite 1 whole, because that would be 4/4. We want to get to 3/4. So we're going to jump 1, 2, 3 right there. That's the opposite. And that one there is negative 3/4. So we have a positive 3/4, which is 3/4, not quite 1 whole, and a negative 3/4, not quite negative 1. So that'd be like 3/4. I owe somebody 3/4. Okay? I probably owe somebody a lot more than 3/4, but you get the idea. Okay, so we've got 3/4, and then negative 3/4 is the opposite. All right, let's do another one. Okay, let's do another one. How about graphing negative 1.6? So if it asks me to graph negative 1.6, we can think of this as 1 6/10, right? So in order to make a whole, we make 10 out of 10, and 6/10 would be 6 of those 10 little lines. So again, we're going to make another number line, and we're going to have those pieces in there that are not quite 1 whole. So here's 0, and then we have negative 1 with 10 little, do I have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops. Okay, so that would give us 10, right? 10 little jumps to get to negative 1. Well, we have 1 whole, plus we have 6/10 more. So that means that we are almost to 2. Okay, almost to 2. So this would be negative 2. There's half, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tenths. So that means that I would have to jump from 1 whole. So there's my negative 1 whole, plus 6 little lines more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my dot is going to be right there after the halfway point. So this right here, this dot, is negative 1 6/10. So even though it's a decimal, I can still think of it as a fraction because fractions are decimals. This is just one more rational number. But now I need to graph its opposite. So the opposite is 1 6/10, the positive side of things. So now over on this side, I can go to 1 whole. Okay, and then I need to go not to 2. Sorry, we're not going to go to 2, but we are going to go to 1 6/10. So here's 1, and then halfway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So that's like 10 out of 10 would be 2, or 20 out of 20. So I'm going to jump from all the way to 1, and then I'm going to go 2, 5, and then 6 right there, so that I'm on 6/10. So this dot right here is the opposite, and it is 1 6/10. So now what we're doing is we are cutting our wholes into pieces. Okay, so, or your negative whole numbers. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a try it. I would like for you to have some try its in here. So your first try it that we're going to look at is 2.5. So number 1 says to graph 2.5 and its opposite. So figure out what the opposite is. And then on number 2, try it number 2. Actually, we're gonna do, try it number 3 in your book, if you're in your book. But you can call it, try it number 2. It says -3 and a half. And its opposite. So you need to figure out the opposite and then be able to graph that as well. Okay, so go ahead and hit pause so you don't hear me, and then you can try it. If you need to go back and re-watch some of this, go for it, and then do your try-its. Okay, so hit pause so you don't hear me. All right, first of all, I need to know what the opposite is. Well, the opposite is -2 and a half, because I just put the opposite symbol in front. This one is already a negative, so the opposite would just be 3.5 or +3.5. Okay, now back to this one. 2.5 and -2.5. So I'm going to be drawing my line, and I'm going to draw my 0 in the middle. And I know I need to go to a half, and then 1, half, 2, and then a half. So this is 1, this one's 2, and then this little tiny line half out past it, that one is 2 and a half, because it's cut in half, except that one I got a little crazy. So try to do your best. I know that sometimes it's challenging. Okay, so this one though, -2.5. So here's 1, 1.5, 2, so -2, and then -2.5. So we've gone past the 2 and then just put in a half more. So not quite to 3. So this right here is -2.5. Notice that there's still the same distance from 0, but now we have parts of numbers added in. Okay, there's number 1. Now let's take a look at number 2. So number 2, -3.5 and 3.5. So I'm gonna this and like this, and there's my 0. All right, so let's go 1, 2, 3, there's 4, and I need the halfway mark in between each of these. All right, so to graph on this side, here's -3, -2, -1, and then on the other side, 1 hole, 2 holes, 3, 4, and then I need the little lines in between. All right, let's check it out. So let's do 3.5. So 3.5, I'm going to jump all the way over here. So 1, 2, 3, and then a half more because it's past 3. It's 3 and then some more. 3 5/10, or 3.5, but not quite to 4. So it's going to be in between the 3 and the 4. Same thing here. It's -3, but then it's more. So it has to go towards the -4. So on this one, we're going to go to the -3 and then halfway between -4. So this one is -3.4, or oops, that's a 5. Oh, why do I keep saying that? -3.5. All right, 6th graders, I did not label this one. This one is 3.5. There we go. Okay, so we've labeled and we've graphed rational numbers and their opposites, both with fractions and with decimals. So now I would like for you to please answer your essential question. How do we graph rational numbers? What are some key ideas that we have? And then also, so go ahead and explain, how do we graph those. So answer that and then put your rating out into the box. Where are you with your understanding? Do you need extra help? Are you starting to get this? Do you need to just is it challenging to make the number lines? Maybe once you look on Big Ideas and you're using their number lines that are provided, you might find that it's a little bit less challenging because then you're just graphing. So go ahead and answer your essential question, put your rating in the box, and if you have questions, go back to the Google Meet, ask for help. If not, you can go on Big Ideas and do your practice work. Have an awesome day and make it a great day the Cougar way.